Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got another Friday faves. I have some makeup stuff, one skincare thing, some random stuff and a chocolate bar. I'm going to start with something really random, but it also kind of is representative of a recent obsession in the past 6 months or so. Vinted. Oh, right, so the thing I want to talk about is this. If you are not aware of the trend of the past few years, quite well now, of swapping out bag straps, I'm so happy you've joined us. Basically, you can buy loads and loads of different straps. They could be chains, they could be like thin leather straps, they can be whatever you want, and completely change up the look of a bag. I got this one from Amazon. I forget exactly how much I paid for it, but I'll link it below. But I bought this for a very specific bag. I have been obsessively looking on Vinted for really good deals on various things. I've got certain searches that I look for, and one of those is Phillip Lim, because I love Phillip Lim bags. They do like a crossbody. Look at this, it's so beautiful. This is the colour of bag that completely sold me on this brand in the first place, but it was so expensive. And then they stopped making them, and this is like one of my all-time favourite bags. It's called, I think, a Pashley. It wasn't called a satchel because the Pashley crossbody, maybe it's called. Still in the Pashley range. Anyway, you can't get these anymore, like brand new, but there are loads and loads floating around on the internet. And so I occasionally search different forums for these bags. I have 2 of them. They're just so amazing. It's got like a back flap inside. There's so much space. It's the leather on these are like practically indestructible. So secondhand, you're going to get a really good one. Anyway, so that's why I search for it occasionally on eBay and Vinted and Depop and whatever, but Vinted is amazing. The best of all of them. I found the other day, it is yet to arrive, so we'll see. But I have now got a tracking link because I was like, is she going to send it? Apparently she sent it. I found a mini Pashley Messenger, which is not like that. It's like a little kind of top handle bag, but it's small, and a crossbody one. It was missing the strap, like the actual shoulder strap, which makes it almost useless because it's not the kind of bag that you would hold. It's very small. Well, not very small, but it's not. It just isn't that kind of bag. You wouldn't like put it on your arm or anything. And there were tiny amounts of damage, like a little bit of a scuffing here on this little plate and a loose thread. That was it. It's black. The leather seems completely fine. £10. This is hundreds and hundreds of pounds worth of handbag, which obviously is secondhand, but they retain their value pretty well. £10. So I bought this bag. When it arrives, if it arrives, I'm going to do a video just about this. And I bought this strap to go with it. Also, you can get loads and loads of different patterns, colours, everything you can possibly imagine. You can get a strap that looks like it. But also, like I say, you can get like chains, thin leather straps, whatever you want to do. I bought this one. This is a favourite, but also I wanted to talk about Vinted because honestly, they should sponsor me for as much as I do talk about them and rave about them. I love that app. People sell stuff for so much cheaper than they do on eBay, and you feel more protected as a buyer. Again, I swear to you, this is not an ad. You feel more protected as a buyer because they don't get their money until you've confirmed not only have you received the item, but it is in the condition that they've said it is in. You have to confirm, yes, this is good. And I feel way more protected that if something did arrive and it wasn't as it was described, I could get my money back quite easily. Moving on, another non-makeup thing, and it's these little things, tiny little clips. I never used to understand what people used these for, and now I use them all the time. Just to kind of clip up my hair, like halfway, perfect. I also put my hair up in a bun on top of my head, and I secure it with one clip instead of a bobble. Do we call them bobbles? Is that a colloquialism? Is that something that like divides people? Hairband. Bobble. Do you call it a bobble? And it really has helped to prevent breakage. I love a clip. I was using a clip to secure my kind of like messy buns and stuff for a while, but a big clip is quite an eyesore. These are absolutely perfect. I use them all the time. The only issue is I can't keep it around my wrist in the same way that I can keep a bobble around my wrist. That is the only thing I have that is a problem because they all end up in one place and I don't know where that place is. So I keep buying more. But really like these, and if like me you are a gotta get your hair off your face kind of person, I think you'd like it. Plus it doesn't leave any kind of indents. So I use like, I've actually got a hairband here, but I use Invisibobbles For that same reason, I don't want to leave like a dent in my hair. But even that can cause breakage, whereas this, it's pretty much the perfect thing. I just wish there was a way of like having it on my person. If you are into dark chocolate at all, may I recommend this? I saw it the other day. You don't need a lot, like a couple of squares of dark chocolate is like, because it's so rich. I mean, I'm not gonna like subscribe to that thing of like, a square of dark chocolate is all I need. No, I'll have other things in the day, but I couldn't eat an entire bar of this. A couple of squares, and also, if you're not familiar, 2 squares of dark chocolate is like that much chocolate. So it's not like a Cadbury's bar. This is the honeycomb dark. It is basically exactly the same dark chocolate that you're familiar with Lindt if you are, but it's got little bits of middle crunchy in it. It's so sweet, and I like nibble on it because it is just so much flavour, but it's so delicious. It's not something that you could kind of like eat a lot of, but if you want a hit of something super delicious, cannot recommend this enough. And I've never heard anyone talk about it. I mean, it is a bit of a random thing, but like even within friends, usually we will recommend things to each other. My dad and I trade dark chocolate recommendations from time to time. No one's mentioned this. Is it new? I don't know, but you should try it. Onto the makeup. Not tons of stuff to talk about, but I wanted to kind of go back over some old favourites that I've been using recently. The Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. I actually saw someone post a picture of Butter Bronzer from this range the other day, and I don't know whether or not they had a completely different version because it was like pastels, the colours, whereas this obviously is not. This is called, I don't know, it just says 6676E bronzer. I don't know if that is actually a shade, but that's the one that I've got. It did used to have a little brush. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like, it doesn't smell, it smells kind of like sun cream, but it smells like coconut, like holidays, like a coconutty kind of body spray. Not just sun cream, because I'm not really a big fan of sun creamy scents. There are some really expensive perfumes to me that are just like, it just smells exactly like sun cream. And I'm sure that's intentional and that's what people like because they seem to be popular. I smell them all the time, but it's not for me. Whereas this, it's definitely more kind of sweet, coconut, tropical. Anyway, I really like this. I've talked about it a bunch. I don't even know how I'm ever going to hit pan because it's so finely milled and packed in there that obviously I've taken like a slight amount of the thing off the top. But I don't even know how much I would have to use this to actually make a dent. But this is a very pale, I mean, it's not crazy pale, but a pale-ish, nice, sheeny bronzer that if you are like me and very heavy-handed and you tend to go a little bit overboard with things like blush and bronzer, this is really nice because you can build it up a little bit at a time. I have another blush that someone reminded me about the other day because I was using something else. I forget what it was, and they said the Flower Beauty ones are so much better, and I thought, yes, they are. I need to pull that out of my drawer. I actually went through, I did a video the other day and I showed you I've got like, this is a favourite for sure. I think I got this from Aldi, but you can get them from Amazon as well. I showed one of these and it was like so full I couldn't actually close it up. And someone commented on it like, you are supposed to be able to close those. Yes, she was right. So I took that time when I got the comment to actually empty everything out, put it back in the right category drawers and refill it with things that I wanted to be using. And one of those things was this. It is the Flower Colour Drops. And this shade is Nectar. You need so little of this product. It's crazy. Like so little. I tend to put, I'll like dot a little bit on one cheek. I'll put just a little bit there and then I'll take my brush, lift a little bit off and then use that on that cheek. And that's how I do it because it's so pigmented. It's very easy to put on too much, but it blends out so beautifully. And it's got that kind of, it's got that kind of translucence to it that I really like, but it's not so much so that you feel like it's just like nothingness. Also, it's pretty good. Like once I've actually blended it out, it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. It lasts pretty well for a cream product. The sun cream I've been using recently is this Nivea Anti-Age, Anti-Pigment Q10. Most of the days I'm not actually wearing makeup. I would probably say the majority of the time these days I don't wear actual foundation on my face, but I want to wear obviously an SPF, especially because I'm prone to pigmentation. There are multiple reasons, but it's the best anti-aging treatment that you can do is to wear SPF every single day, and you need to be reapplying it multiple times a day. I don't always do that, I'll be honest, but if you want it to be effective, 100%. If I put it on in the morning, then I do try to remember to put it on again before I leave the house to go and get the kids, at very least. And I also have some spray SPFs, which are great for on top of makeup, because obviously you can't reapply your cream SPF once you've got makeup on. But it's the thing. It is the thing. Most of us didn't want to listen. I was well into my 30s by the time I was like, okay, I'll wear it every single day. Because if I'm looking at this point into treatments to remove melasma, which was hormonal but is definitely exacerbated by the sun, and we're looking at things like Botox and filler, we could do a little bit of prevention ahead of time. If we're going to be looking at things like that, which most of us are, shamefully. I was actually speaking to my friend about this the other day, and I said it's really, really funny because the only reason I haven't had anything done so far is because I am worried about what people will say. But don't you have things done because you're worried about what people will say? Isn't that like a vicious cycle? Like, you look in the mirror and you're like, oh, I want X, Y, Z. And yeah, you know, we want it for ourselves. We think we'll feel better about it, but it is societal, isn't it? And then that also is the same reason that you don't want to have the thing done. To live inside my head. Lastly, I don't remember the last time I talked about this, but I reached for it this morning and I thought, yes, this is going in my makeup bag and I'm going to mention it. It is the NARS lip pencil in Rycogen. It's the Satin Lip Pencil. Very, very important. It's not necessarily the colour that matters, but it is the fact that it is satin. I mean, I've had this forever and it's teeny tiny now. I've sharpened it to death. But basically, let me swatch it for you. It's like a lipstick in a pencil, a little bit firmer, because it's not just like super creamy. Look at that, like it's satin, so there's no shimmer to it, but it has a nice sheen. It's somewhere between a gloss and a lipstick, but it's also firm enough that you can use it on your lips like a pencil and like work it out, because I like a little bit of an overdrawn lip. I enjoy that. And it also gives you more definition than if you just put a lipstick on. I'm a big fan of this, and I completely forgot that I had it, and I put it on this morning and was like, yes, okay, I'm going to mention this, and I'm also going to be looking into whether or not they still make the satin lip pencil. Fingers crossed. I'm going to Google it right now. Not only do they still make it, but they still make this exact one. I do really like this one particularly as well. It's £22, which is pricey, but unlike a lipstick, I think this is going to last a lot longer. Plus, there's no scent to this. It's still got like a normal makeup scent. I've had this for years and years. You know, like you're supposed to throw things away. I don't know how long I was supposed to keep this, but I've kept it probably 7 times the time I was supposed to keep it. I don't care about that stuff. As long as it doesn't look or smell different, it's cool by me. I'm only using it for myself. That will last a lot longer than buying a really expensive lipstick, but also it's kind of double duty because it does the pencil too. And it wears away really, really nicely, and you can reapply it and it looks good on top of itself. You know, sometimes when you put something and it looks awful, it like starts to look crumbly and dry and horrible. You're never going to get that with that. I'm completely selling this to myself. I'm like, what other colours could I buy? My last suggestion of the week is this game, which we're all obsessed with. I used to play it years ago, and I used to play it on my iPad, and then Milo kept stealing my iPad, and then I couldn't play the game. That was the situation. And then I downloaded it again on my phone, and I remembered all of my details, and I was like, oh, all the characters that I got over the years. Lee has never stopped playing this game. If he is waiting for me in any capacity, like outside Primark is my example, he's always playing this game. If he was in the waiting room or at the doctor's, he's playing this game. Picking me up and sitting in the car, he's playing this game. If you're watching TV at night, he's playing this game. Again, this is not sponsored. It feels super sponsored. I have to stop being so passionate. I'll show you how it works. So basically, you choose a deck, which I should have shown you ahead of time, but you choose a deck of characters, and then it puts you down in like a setting where you are going to have a fight. It loads your little characters at the bottom, and these are basically cards, and you choose what card to play against your enemy castle. The overall aim is that you kill the castle, like, so it's got a certain amount of like HP for the castle, and the overall aim is that you kill the castle. Not, I mean, yeah, you want to kill the people, you want to get the little guys, but you want to destroy the castle. That is the aim of the game. There are obviously in-app purchases, because there are with all games now, but you can 100% play the game without ever feeling pressured to buy anything at all, because you kind of get gems and queens as you play, and you can play, you get stuff anyway. It's just patience. And there's no like, you know, like sometimes in the game you can play 5 games and then you have to spend gems to be able to play further. You could just play this forever and never do any kind of in-app purchases, which is a big thing for me. So again, not an ad, not an ad. Weird, but not an ad. I wanted to recommend it because I'm playing it loads at the moment. Fantastic escapism, and it is right on my phone, so if I'm waiting for the school run, that is prime Castle Crush time. And that's everything for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I will be back on Sunday with an H&M Shop With Me, I believe is what we've got on Sunday. And if you haven't already, I would also suggest that you check out my vlog channel where I talk about all kinds of nonsense. And usually I'm just making coffee and being really, really tired. If that sold it to you, it's linked below. And I will see you guys in whatever video of mine you watch next. Bye!